when you're the world's biggest and you often meet someone who dislikes us. I'm trying to pack by myself. My stylist Hermes is in Ibiza.
Bonnie Blue just got arrested in Bali, and honestly, nobody is shocked because you could see this storm building from a mile away. She's been darting around the world doing the wildest, most off-the-rails stunts you can imagine, and now she's finally running into some real-world consequences. And this isn't some tiny tap on the wrist either. We're talking about a possible 15 years in an Indonesian prison, which is a whole different level of serious. That's a rough path ahead, and definitely not the kind she ever planned for. So let's break down what went down, how the whole thing unraveled, and why this might actually mark the end of her chaotic run. Because trust me, every layer of this story just gets crazier. But first, and if you somehow missed who Bonnie Blue is, she basically built her entire name on pushing controversy to the limit. She's the OF creator who claims she slept with over 1,000 men in 12 hours, which already tells you what type of energy she thrives on. And instead of backing away from that reputation like most people would, she doubled down and turned it into her brand, selling the shock factor to the world. So now that you know the vibe, here's where things go from wild to downright unbelievable. Lately, she's been running what she calls a bang bus tour across different countries. And no, it's not a joke. She literally gets a van, paints it blue, slaps her name across the side, and drives around trying to link up with big crowds of young adults to fuel her chaotic image even more. She calls them schoolies and freshers, which is just her flashy way of saying people who barely hit adulthood, literally just turned 18. The whole thing feels messy, unsettling, and honestly, it was only a matter of time before this routine caught up with her in a serious way. Bonnie's already been banned from multiple countries, which tells you everything. Australia kicked her out last year, and Fiji sent her packing too. So at this point, she's basically persona non grata across half the map. But did that slow her down? Not even close, because someone like Bonnie Blue seems to operate without a working moral compass. Like that whole feature got deleted from her brain ages ago. So after Australia showed her the door, she switched gears fast. She told her followers, "Hey, if you can't meet me in Australia, come to Bali instead." And that move is exactly where everything flipped upside down for her. Because Bali isn't just a tropical getaway. It's part of Indonesia, and Indonesia does not play around when it comes to adult content. We're talking about a place where even watching explicit material is illegal, not just filming it. So for Bonnie Blue to roll up with her so-called bang bus and start filming bold content out in the open, she might as well have marched into a police station and asked for handcuffs. And honestly, that's basically how it went down. Last week, Indonesian police raided the location where Bonnie and her crew were working. They arrested her along with 17 men, ranging from 19 to 40, and when that footage dropped of the guys leaving the station with their shirts over their faces, I couldn't help thinking, imagine being so caught up in chaos that you end up in a lineup like that. You end up sitting in an Indonesian jail because of Bonnie Blue. That has to be one of the wildest reality check moments a person could ever face. But believe it or not, the situation somehow gets even messier. When police raided her spot, they uncovered evidence that was basically a disaster waiting to explode in court. They found 19 outfits labeled School Bonnie Blue, which instantly raised eyebrows everywhere. They also uncovered boxes of condoms, lubricant, 9 pink necklaces for reasons nobody can explain, flash drives that probably hold content nobody wants to imagine, and 2 sheets of Viagra pills with some already used. Like, how do you even walk into a courtroom and explain all that with a straight face? Oh, Your Honor, those outfits that say school on them? Total coincidence. And the flash drives? Just vacation photos. Yeah, that defense is going nowhere fast. Then it got even worse for her legally. Indonesian police confirmed that her whole bang bus setup wasn't just morally chaotic. It was completely illegal on paper. The van was registered as white, but she repainted it blue without updating anything. And the registration tax apparently expired back in 2023. So not only was she violating strict content laws, she was breaking traffic regulations too, like she was speed running her way into handcuffs. And here's the twist that really cranks up the pressure. Bonnie's passport has been seized. She is officially blocked from leaving Indonesia, and while some of the men arrested with her have been released, she is still being held tight by authorities. This situation just keeps escalating. 3 members of her own team are still being held too, which already tells you how serious this whole situation really is. Legal experts in Indonesia are saying Bonnie could be looking at up to 15 years behind bars if she's convicted, and Indonesian prisons are nothing like the ones in the UK or US. These places are known for being overcrowded, understaffed, and packed with corruption. So this isn't somewhere you'd want to spend 15 minutes, let alone 15 years. But here's the twist. Some people think she might just end up deported with a lifetime ban from Indonesia. And honestly, that sounds like the most realistic outcome. Indonesia loves making examples out of tourists who break big rules. But they also don't usually want the political mess of keeping a British citizen locked up for over a decade. Still, the fact that prison time is even on the table shows just how deeply Bonnie stepped into trouble. And what blows my mind is that she had to know this was illegal. Like, did she not do even basic research before flying into Bali? Did her team not take 5 seconds to Google whether any of this was allowed in Indonesia?
Are my fluids. My fluids are going to be dripping around the Gold Coast, and I cannot wait for your son to taste them and put them to very good use.
It feels like Bonnie got so comfortable slipping past consequences that she truly believed she couldn't be touched. For over a year, she's been pulling wild stunts. And every time someone tried to hold her accountable, she just turned it into more content. When she got banned from Australia, she made videos bragging about it. When she got deported from Fiji, she laughed it off on stream. She treated everything like part of some ongoing show. But Indonesia isn't part of that show. And now she's learning the hard way that certain lines are not meant to be crossed. What makes it even wilder is that Bonnie was literally posting videos from Bali before she got arrested, hyping herself up, and talking about how excited she was to link with barely legal guys during schoolie week. She was openly broadcasting her plans like nothing could touch her, which just added gasoline to the fire. She even posted a video where she's spitting into little vials saying her fluids are going to be dripping around the Gold Coast. And honestly, who even talks like that anymore? It's wild, it's messy, and it's straight up revolting to watch. But at this point, it's sadly not surprising. Because let's be real, a lot of streamers and influencers today act completely out of pocket, like they lost all sense of grounding and basic respect. And the worst part? There were actual crowds in these clips yelling and chasing after her van like she's some type of superstar. People treating her like a pop icon when, in reality, she's someone using shock value and reckless behavior as her entire identity. It's disturbing on every level. And of course, some folks online have tried defending her, saying things like, well, everyone involved is a consenting adult, so what's the problem? But seriously, is that where we've landed now? Is the moral bar so low that anything gets excused as long as there's a technical checkbox for consent? It's wild how normalized this has become, and honestly, it's downright unsettling. On top of all that, what she did in Indonesia is straight up illegal. That part isn't even up for debate. And even if it were legal, the way she deliberately markets herself toward the youngest adults she can legally interact with is predatory energy. Plain and simple. She's not just an adult creator minding her own business, she's actively targeting the lowest legal age bracket she can and bragging about it online, like it's a badge of honor. And let's not forget, this isn't her first time causing chaos. She's been banned from multiple countries, kicked off Airbnb, and even banned from OF, which is seriously shocking because OF barely bans anybody. Even her own family has reportedly backed away from her, which tells you everything you need to know about how far she's taken all this. As of right now, Bonnie is still sitting in custody in Bali, her passport locked away, waiting to find out whether she's actually getting charged and facing real prison time, or whether she's just going to be kicked out of the country with a lifetime ban. Personally, I think deportation is the most likely outcome, because Indonesia probably doesn't want the global spotlight that comes with locking up a British influencer for 15 years. But I still think they're going to send a strong message with whatever decision they make. But honestly, even if she does get deported, the damage is already done. Bonnie's reputation, which was barely hanging on, is now completely wrecked. Getting arrested in a foreign country on pornography charges is not something you bounce back from, no matter how many shock value videos you've made. And even if she tries to spin this into more content, I don't think people are going to find it entertaining this time. Because here's the truth, Bonnie Blue built her whole career on pure shock value. She does something extreme, people talk, the clicks roll in, and she profits. But you can only run that play so many times before the audience gets tired. And getting arrested in Bali isn't edgy or rebellious. It's just sad and embarrassing. Look, people can live their lives however they want. If someone wants to be an adult content creator, that's their choice. But there's a huge difference between doing your own content and purposely chasing the youngest adults you can find while filming material that's illegal in another country. That's a whole different level of reckless, and it crossed a line that was never meant to be crossed. So yeah, Bonnie Blue finally hit the wall. Her bang bus got confiscated, her passport got seized, she's stuck in Bali staring down possible prison time. And even if she walks away from this without charges, Her reputation is dust. And honestly, she earned every bit of the fallout from the choices she made. This isn't some clueless person who got tangled in a simple misunderstanding. Not even close. This is someone who knew exactly what she was doing, pushed ahead anyway, and is now sitting face to face with the consequences she created. Sometimes karma really does spin the block. And seeing Bonnie Blue finally deal with real fallout is honestly satisfying to watch. Not because anyone wants her to suffer, but because people like her need a wake-up call to understand that limits actually exist. You can't just run around doing whatever you want and expect to slide by forever. Eventually, reality catches up. And for Bonnie, that moment landed hard. So drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Bonnie Blue is going to end up in prison? Or is she just getting deported with a lifetime ban? And do you think she'll learn anything from this? Or will she jump right back into the same chaos the second she gets free? Either way, this whole situation is wild, and it's far from over. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment to keep the conversation going and stay locked in. You don't want to miss the next piece of this story.